April 25th, 2024. It's a Thursday. Right now I'm in Norwich, Connecticut, but I'm heading to Lisbon, Connecticut. I'm going to do a little exploration of some of the roads in Lisbon. I am not from Lisbon. I am, was born and raised in Norwich. I am not an expert on the roads in Lisbon, but I'm going to drive around and cover as much territory as I can in Lisbon, within reason. I mean, I don't have hours to do this, but let's grab some footage. Right now I'm going to get on to, I'm coming off of, West Town. I'm getting on 395 North for a brief drive on this stretch of 395. I'll take an exit to get off into the Lisbon area, and I'll start the exploration of Lisbon from that point. I mean, as you can see, it's crystal clear. There might be some hazy clouds out there in the distance, but it's a beautiful day. Last week of April. And the last time I went to Lisbon, I went to the Royal Ballroom, which is now an abandoned building, an abandoned structure, and I did a kind of a walk around. And showed the current state of the former Royal Ballroom and Banquet Hall. I also did Lisbon Landing, which is a complex of many stores, Home Depot, Walmart, many, just there's stores all over the place up there. Michael's, whatever. Michael's Art Supplies. I went to the other side of the street, which is another complex that features Lowe's, Target, many other stores, Aldi's supermarket. It goes on and on. So I got those two Lisbon centric videos that exist. But this thing here, I want to do some back roads. Again, I wish I was kind of a Lisbon expert, then I could really hone in on the more popular and well-known spots. But I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm just going to do a kind of a random drive. But when I did go to the Royal Ballroom, I think it was Bundy Hill Road. I drove on Bundy Hill Road. There was some really nice scenery up there. So that's another reason that I'm heading up there. That bridge back there was Canterbury Turnpike that we just passed under, by the way. So that gives you an idea. If I took exit 18 over here, that would put me right in Ockham and then Taffville. So the next two exits are Lisbon. That's the incinerator right there to the right, that big smokestack. Lisbon incinerator. So we got 1 mile to exit 19. I'll take that. Speed limit's 65 on 395. I hearken back to the days when it was 55 miles per hour. With modern cars, that would be, I would say, difficult to adjust to going back to driving 55. This bridge is Preston Allen Road, so directly ahead of us is Preston Allen Road. All right, exit 19, Lisbon, Connecticut. That is the exit I'm taking right now. First thing I'm going to do is take a left, because I do have something in mind here. Just kind of struck me as we were driving down here. Motorcycle goes by. Perfect motorcycle riding weather today. I'm going to have to rely heavily on my GPS to tell me the names of the roads that I'm on. South Burnham Highway is the name of this road, according to the GPS. Lisbon Auto Sales to the left, very important. I bought my first car there. It was a used Malibu. The place looks exactly the same, which is, in my opinion, cool. Silly's Automotive to the left. That's a good place to get emissions done. That's where I go. It takes 5 minutes. I'm in and out of there. Those guys are great. All right. I'm going to take a left. I'm going by Pleasant Valley Homes. I'm just reading signs here. So off of South Burnham Highway, I'm going to get onto Kendall Road. If memory serves me, well, I'm not going to, let's see. I don't want to get ahead of myself here. Let's see what's down Kendall Road. Speed limit on Kendall Road's 30. Not bad. So this is a wide... It's not very narrow. It's a little wider than a lot of back roads typically would be in this area. Okay, to my right, see that field? That's the former Lisbon Golf Course. It was a 9-hole golf course. That's when I was a kid. My father, I used to go around with him all the time. It had the last hole at Lisbon, the number 9. You were way up on this giant hill. Let me see if I can... I just want to kind of glance over here and see. I think it's just so overgrown. Yeah, it's there. I mean, I'm looking to my left. I'm going to turn around. Let's see if I can turn around. I mean, this is a little unorthodox. I hope this car doesn't bottom out over here. There's some kind of a body of water ahead of us over there. I don't know what it is, but I just wanted to get a quick glance at that former Lisbon golf course. It was really a cool little 9-hole course. To the left there's a house. I think that used to be the headquarters. I'm not sure. That's definitely to the left over these rocks and everything is the former Lisbon 9-hole golf course. It was an easy course to walk around. Although one thing I do remember, when it rained, that place held water for a long time. Yeah, I mean, if it rained a couple of days ago, you'd go out there and it would be just massive puddles that you would have to navigate your way around. So that was one thing about Lisbon Golf Course that was kind of a, you had to plan for that flood factor. All right, I'm going to head back down South Burnham Highway up towards Bundy Hill Road area. Again, this is an exploration of an area that I am not acutely familiar with. I've driven around Lisbon. I've driven on this road probably hundreds and hundreds of times in my life, but all right, Mel Road to my left. That's kind of a name that rings a bell. So hopefully Lisbon covers quite a large area. If you look at it like on Google Earth, from a satellite perspective or an overhead, drone perspective, Lisbon is a large, it covers many, many, many acres, square miles, whatever measurement you want to use. So I can't cover everything. And my intention is not to. I don't have the time to cover some of these videos. People have requested cover all of New London. That's a 20-hour video. You can do it in chunks. I have a lot of New London I've done recently. You can do that in stages and cover the kind of the main arteries and things. But to do the side roads and little back roads and all the one-way little streets, doable, but that's a separate project that you have to almost approach it with a grid, grid things off. Nice barn, farm to my left, absolutely beautiful farmland down there, especially now, late April. Things are, flowers and things are blooming, and there's a little stream, little creek going through there with little footbridges and walkways. It's absolutely beautiful. At some point, I am going to get to a left turn up here. I think it's approaching relatively soon, if I'm not mistaken. Right here. Yeah, this is Schoolhouse Road. Let me go up Schoolhouse Road. Lisbon is a beautiful town. There's a lot of very scenic roads, and it's well cared for. I mean, this road, for example, is in flawless, perfect condition. It's got to be new. This thing was put in probably last year, a couple of years ago at tops. But it's a beautiful town with some really cool, they have there's a train tunnel. It's one of the most famous tunnels in the United States. It's in Lisbon. It's really incredible. It's on the Quinnebog River. So Schoolhouse Road, yeah, I'm heading up to, I was here before. Not far from here is, I'm going to go right this time. Not far from here is the Royal Ballroom, but again, if you want to see that video, it's available. Look at that barn. All right, so off Schoolhouse, I am now on Bundy Hill Road. This looks like a very large hill coming up here. It's indicated by that sign back there. Yeah, this is Bundy Hill Road. Again, I'm looking to the left and right. You guys see, this lens might not be wide enough, but there's some real beautiful scenery around here. Okay, what is this? Lisbon Mobile Park to my right. And it's on a body of water. I'm tempted to go down there. But let me continue down Bundy Hill Road. Okay, that looks like the end of Bundy Hill Road. So I got to figure out a way to turn around. Wait a minute. That's a really, let me take a right. This would be Blissville Road. Yeah, that's another, there's so many kind of important roads to cover in Lisbon. That could be Blissville Pond. I'm not an expert. You know what? It's got to be Blissville Pond. I'm on Blissville Road, so it stands to reason that that would be Blissville Pond. But again, there's a lot of really nice houses in Lisbon. It's out in the country. It's rural. I'm looking to my left. There's a beautiful log home. as I drive down Blissville Road. Definitely an important Lisbon road. A lot of people very familiar. Nora Street to my left. See, now if I wanted to cover every single side street, I would go down Nora Street as I look at Blissville. I'm trying to think to myself here, what do I want to do? Blissville Road continues. I am going to take a brief, I think I'm going to try this left here, and I think it connects back. All right, Clubhouse Road. You know what, boy, I tell you, some tricky decisions to make around here real quick. Do I want to go left or right? I had family many, many years ago that lived up here. And I haven't seen their house in years. I'm just going to take a quick drive by and I'm going to turn around. So that's Clubhouse. Okay, this is a dead end. So I'm going to turn around right here where my aunt and uncle used to live. Had a lot of good barbecues and things up there, and right there. I haven't seen that in... I gotta be careful backing up. It's kind of a big drop off there. But it's a dead end, so I'm turning around. Kind of interesting to see the old homestead there that my uncle, my aunt and uncle had that built. Now, how many years ago? I was a little kid. That's got to be, I don't know, 50, 60 years. A long time, 50 years ago. I'll take a stab at it. H&H Auto Machine engine components to my right. As I sit on Clubhouse Road, I'm going to go across. I want to cover some more important Lisbon streets. And Clubhouse Road is one of them. Again, beautiful house to my left. Blissville Pond over there. I have to yield here, so I'm definitely taking that to heart. Back on Blissville. Okay. That trailer park, I don't know if I'll be able to get a look at Blissville Pond, or if it's, let's take a look. I'm going to give it a try. I just got to remember get my bearings here for a second. Yeah, I'll zip around there, but I kind of want to continue down Blissville. Plus, I want to go down Bundy the other way. Just for now, because if I go down Blissville, that could be a lengthy endeavor. Look at that beautiful house directly on Blissville Pond. I mean, talk about location. This area right here, there's a lot of new houses. Big decks overlooking the pond. A lot of solar out here. All right, let's see what this says. Lisbon Mobile Park. This could afford us a decent view of... there you go. I'm just going to get down here and turn around. But there's a view of Blissville Pond in the distance. Now, this mobile home park looks absolutely beautiful. It looks incredibly flawlessly maintained. Right on the pond. What a great location. I'm just going to turn around here. I'm not going to... I mean, we got a taste of the park here, and we got to look at the Blissville Pond. So let's go back. I'm going to try to keep my ideas in check here. I wanted to keep going. So when I get to the end of this road, I'm going to go left. If you lived in Lisbon back in the old days and you live in another part of the country and you're watching this thing right now, I hope I went by your house, where you worked, maybe your school, something. Wouldn't it be great if I had like real time, an earpiece and somebody that is really knowledgeable about Lisbon? They would tell me where to go, left, right, whatever. Okay, Ice House is left in Lower Blissville. I can't cover every inch of everything. I'd love to, but I can't. So I'm going to go up. Wow, nice waterfall. I got to keep that in mind. There's a beautiful waterfall to photograph. So that's coming out of a portion of, I believe, Blissville Pond, unless that's a separate pond. I don't know. I think that's a separate pond. Lisbon experts, chime in, let me know what the situation on that is back there. It looked like a separate pond. Now I am on, this is Ice House Road, straight up. But I got to keep that waterfall in mind back there. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I want to turn around here. Well, not turn around. I can go up. Ooh, that looks like a driveway. I don't want to do that. I want to go up somebody's. I'm going to turn around. Just do a 360. All right, we get different angles. So, Ice House in the opposite direction. And that's going to afford me the opportunity to take a better look at that pond and that waterfall, which I will come back and photograph at some point in the future. I like to do kind of a long not long, but when you take a photograph of it, you put a filter on the lens and you take okay, there's the pond. I don't see a different name, but it doesn't seem connected to Blissville Pond. I'm going to come around the corner. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to see the waterfall unless I back up in this guy's driveway, which I'm going to do, and it's probably crazy, but that'll be kind of cool for this film, for this video. Right there. Let me linger on that for a second. There's nobody coming either way. That's the waterfall I'm talking about. Anybody familiar with Lisbon would know that well. Okay, this brings me down to, I think this is Lower Blissville, if I'm not mistaken. I may have to turn around. I mean, I don't want to be, jumping back into Norwich or anything. So yeah, I'm going to turn around down here. That's fine. I'm covering tons of territory already. I'm going to back up, pull into this person's driveway, back out. There's a big skeleton without a head in that yard. All right. So Lower Blissville at the moment. I was glad to get that waterfall in there. That person's driveway is perfectly positioned. Every time they leave their driveway, they get to see that really nice waterfall. So now we're back on Blissville as opposed to Lower Blissville. And yeah, okay, I already did that section of Blissville. Now, yeah, let's go past. We're on Bundy Hill Road again, but we're going to go further down the road past the former Royal Ballroom. Yep, there's Lisbon Mobile Park on our left. Beautiful view from up here. When you enter that mobile home park, you have a phenomenal view, super wide view of that pond. All right, so we're getting to the part of the video. Yeah, I came up on that road on my left, so yeah, I'm going to go straight. Maybe I'll pull into, I can see the former Royal Ballroom from here. I'll pull in there for 1 second, but I have, like I said, I have a full video on that. There's a lot of side streets. Okay, there's nobody behind me. See that sign right there? Royal Ballroom. When I turn in, I'll point the camera right at it. Right there. You can't see it too good. I mean, you can see the brick, the building a little bit. The parking lot is all overgrown. It's just, you know, it's hasn't been touched in a long time. Let me get this sign in here. Hopefully that sign, the Royal Ballroom and Banquet Center. And we're going to get on Bundy Hill Road in this direction. Really nice flowering tree there to my right. I don't know if that's a cherry tree. It looks like a cherry tree. I'm not an expert on that type of thing in any way, shape, or form, but a close family member has a cherry tree in their yard, and it looks identical to that. There's a dogwood tree back there, by the way. Another close family member, different person, has that tree in their front yard, and it looks exactly like that thing. Bundy Hill Road kind of widens out a little bit up here. So when they say hill, they're not kidding. There's a lot of these signs, like to the right there, it shows a truck going down a very steep grade, which I'm about to do right now. Yeah, this is one heck of a hill. I mean, I don't know how it appears on video, but when you're driving down this thing in real life, it's steep. Okay, that's going to put me out onto, I believe, River Road, if I'm not mistaken. And you got to be real careful getting out of here. Take my word for it. Okay. I'm going to jump back onto some other... Okay, there's a left up here. Let's do this. Get off this main... I'm on, you know, again, River Road. It's not a main road, but it's kind of, you know... Okay, Round Hill Court. I don't know, that's a dead end. Well, I'm here. We get to see some more flowering trees like the one right directly in front of us. This neighborhood, you know, maybe you grew up in this neighborhood. Who knows? If you did, you're probably real happy to see this thing right now. But at some point, okay, here we go. There are a lot of hills in Lisbon. I never realized the depth or the height of some of these. hills. Look at those trees right there. I mean, I hate to keep harping on it, but this time of year, it's a very short window. They'll look beautiful for a week, and then that's it till next year when those trees flower. All right, we're going to go back onto River Road temporarily. There's a really nice farm. Let me see if I can. I think it's a Round Hill farm. Yeah, maybe I can point this camera in that direction. I don't know if you can see over that wall. There's cows and all kind of, livestock and everything. Round Hill farm. This little street is Round Hill Road. Makes perfect sense. So I don't want to go too far down this road because that's going to bring me to Lisbon Landing, which I covered fully. Barber Farm Road to my left. I believe that's also a, kind of a dead end or cul-de-sac. So River Road is what we're driving down right now. There's a sign to my left. What is that? Grant's. Okay, Mel Road. I want to go back there. I'll drive down a little bit, but I want to work my way back to Mel Road. That's going to be important. Yeah, this is the, if I went up this hill here, which I'm not gonna, this would lead me to Target and Lowe's and all these stores I mentioned. I got a video on that. I cover that. Every square inch of it up there, I covered it. But Mel Road, that's a name that kind of sticks in my mind. You know what? Dogwood is here. Dogwood Drive. Let's go up Dogwood Drive. I'm not going to, if this thing goes on and on and on, I'm not going to do it. I want to get back to Mel Road. But some person, somewhere, must be happy that I'm driving down this road right now. Either they grew up here, they used to visit a friend here, any of many, many, many possibilities. Another very hilly, curvy, windy road in Lisbon. Lisbon, I'm telling you guys, to the naked eye, looking left, right, all different directions, is beautiful. There's all really nice, well-kept homes out here. Dogwood Drive kind of goes a little bit further than I had imagined. I thought it was just a short road. All right, there's a stop sign here. Okay, that's going to put me on Canahan Road. Hopefully this leads back to Mel Road. Canahan Road. That's with a K. Beautiful homes. I'm looking at this house on my right. Absolutely gorgeous. That's one thing. You guys can't see everything. I can turn my head this way, that way. All right, let's see. Canahan Road. I hope that's Mel Road. It is. Directly across. And I got to be careful getting out of here because this is a river road, I believe, and cars can, drive a little quick down there. Down River Road. Okay, this is Mel Road. Good. There's some people working on fiber optics right now. And looks like a couple of police officers out there. As the gentleman looks at the camera on my car and has a kind of an inquisitive look on his face. But that's to be expected. He's a police officer. That's seeing a camera mounted on the center front portion of a hood of a car as a person drives around is kind of unusual. Grant's Berry Patch and Farm Stand. I'm not going to drive in there, but it's real cool. On Mel Road. Something to keep in mind if you want to get fresh berries. Wow, nice farmland up here. Hayden's Mower Shop. Tractors. I think that guy fixed my snowblower one time. Somebody recommended him. He did a beautiful job. As we drive down the beautiful, picturesque Mel Road, or now up another one of these, Lisbon hills. Another incredible house to my right. Okay, I'm going to take a left, but I'm going to try to work my way back. This is a dead end. There's a nice farm. There's a woman walking a nice dog right there. This is a dead end. Winterbrook Farm. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful farm. So this is Blueberry Lane, I believe. But it's a dead end, so at some point down here. That's why some of these videos, I mean, if I was completely unleashed and I had, just get up in the morning and an all-day thing, I could do every single solitary road in some of these towns. I'm not sure where this is supposed to be a dead end, so I'm going to turn around. Yeah, it looks like that's somebody's home, so I'm going to turn around. But I could do a 16-hour video that would just go on and on and on from morning till night, dawn till dusk. That'd be a lot of driving. I mean, I'd go through a tank of gas, no question about it. But yeah, Blueberry Lane right now. And there's that farm to the left. I'd love to drive up there, get you a good view of it, but, it's a private farm. More beautiful homes. It's a new construction over there to my left. So this is Mel Road again. This is probably going to bring me back out to South Burnham Highway if my bearings and my calculations are accurate. We'll find out soon enough. Ooh. Some big grain silos. I got to be able to turn up. You got to get a look at this. This is something. This is a sight to behold. Old tractor. Let me see here. This is Nigrin Road. Right there. It's a dead end, but look at that. Talk about your New England, postcard. Nigrin Road. I'm going to turn around right here because this road ends. But that affords us a real good look at those, what I assume to be grain silos. I hope I'm not making a mistake and not going further up the road. You know what? Let me try it. I don't know what's up there. But if there's not a good place to turn around, that could be rough. There's a dogwood right there. It's already starting to shed a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna turn around. Okay, we'll venture down a little bit. I just don't want to get into a situation where I'm going to have to back up for a long distance. Yeah, it's coming to an end. My GPS has this thing ending relatively quickly here. And it really narrows off. It's basically enough room for one car right here. So I'm going to turn around, obviously. Don't have a choice. There's nowhere else to go. There's a cool old barn right there. A little structure of some sort that appears to look like a barn. I'm going to do some serious steering wheel maneuvering around that little location right there. So Nigrin Road. Keep that in mind if you want to see that. Come up with a camera at the right time, golden hour or something. Get pictures of that. Those two metal grain silos. Big field to my left. Grass is real green. Things are starting to bloom. A really old tractor right down the end on the left over there. It's kind of on display, like an antique. It's up on a slab of cement. I'm going to get back on Mel Road, keep going. There's a pond to my right. It says water supply. I don't know if it's like a little reservoir for watering the fields. Or I don't know what that situation is, but all right, let's reassess. We got ourselves a stop sign here. Ames to my left. Ames Road to my left. Well, I'll keep it in mind. Ames Road to my left. So if I go right, that another nice barn. There's a lot of really, if you're into photography, I got like 3 or 4 spots in my head right now. I'm going over, I think, 395. That bridge back there. So this is still Mel Road, so I may turn around down at the end of that. I'm going to assume this thing's coming to an end pretty soon. It's going to put me on South Burnham Highway if my bearings are accurate. Yeah, they are. So I'm right across the street from my Silly's Automotive, my guy that does a great job on the emissions. You're in and out of there in seconds. It's awesome. He also does, he repairs cars. His reputation is fantastic. I'm going to pull in there and just turn around. Get a real good close-up. All right. swing right around here. There's a car right in there right now, a little Honda getting his emissions tested. All right, let me go back up Mel Road a little bit, do a little bit more exploring. I'm kind of running out of time here. All right, there's an opening. Beautiful. Go right across. No through trucks. That's the sign back there. All right, let's get up here. I do not have an infinite amount of time left on the tour here, but I'm going to try to cover some of these little roads that I saw that looked interesting. I mean, look at that. This historic properties around here. Stop all way. Okay. Guys, there it is, proof. I did it. I stopped all the way. There's a nice dog there. I got to be careful. All right, speed limit 25. Another kind of a narrow road with guardrails, and you got to thread the needle on some of these. So this is Ames, A-M-E-S Road. That is the name of this road that I am currently driving down right now. I'm driving southwest. And I have absolutely no idea where this goes, but I'm going to assume that it comes out on South Burnham Highway. I'm just going to assume that because it's kind of swerving back in that direction. And, okay, if my internal compass is accurate, that will be South Burnham Road. And I believe it is. Good. So I'm going to wrap things. I'm going over Blissville Brook. There's a little brook back there. It's called Blissville Brook. I'm going to wrap things up, if not right this second, but one thing I did earlier that I want to kind of just go a little bit further is past that Lisbon golf course. I just want to make sure that I did the whole thing. I would love to walk around, like get on the ground, walk around that Lisbon golf course. I mean, it's private property, I can't do that, but just, so many hundred, probably thousands over the years, tens of thousands of people golf there. I mean, that was very, very well known in this area back in the 70s. Prior to that, I have no idea when it was founded or, first opened. That would be interesting. If somebody knows anything about the Lisbon golf course, that 9-hole golf course, when did it open? When did it shut down? I would love to know that information. So I'm getting back on Kendall Road, heading towards what used to be Lisbon Golf Course, and that comes up real quick. All right, let me tap on the brakes a little bit here. So right to the right, those pine trees and everything. In front of that big field. That's like I would say you're heading back to the 9th hole. This could be the 8th hole, 7th or 8th hole, heading back towards the clubhouse. If I'm not mistaken. I mean, it's kind of tough to you know, it's overgrown. Things have changed quite dramatically. You know, I'm trying to see. Yeah, I don't, you know, it's just so overgrown. It's hard for me to. It's hard for me to tell. But I think. I don't know if the clubhouse is still there, to be honest with you. I think it's either gone or it's now just turned into a remodeled into a conventional home. Very difficult for me to see that. But this is Kendall Road. Okay, stop sign. Let's see here. So this brings me to Preston Allen Road. Preston Allen Road. I'm sure some people want me to do Preston Allen Road. I'm going to continue straight on Kendall just because I'm a little, I'd like to come back and do Preston Allen at some point in the future, because it did look very, very intriguing. There's more farmland and beautiful properties out here with ponds and. Okay, now this is bringing me to a kind of a major for sales road. I'm going to turn around. Okay, the stone house is down there. So that could be, I might be technically I might be out of Lisbon for sales. I'm not sure about that, but I'm going to get back up into another incredibly steep hill here. But it's 3 o'clock right now. It's 3 p.m. I got to work my way back. I don't have much time left. But let's hit Preston Allen Road. I'm assuming I'm still in Lisbon. You know, some of these boundaries are tricky. With these towns, you could be in Baltic 1 second, Lisbon in the next second, and you know, it's just, but this, okay, here we go, Preston Allen Road. Not sure what's on Preston Allen Road, but more nice houses. You know, again, side streets that I could explore if I wanted to, but maybe another day. There's a cool house there to the left. I don't know if it's abandoned, but yeah, I think it is, but it's classic style. This is leading me to, I don't know. We're going to find out. It's going to put me on a bridge. Okay, this goes over 395. Yeah, we passed, in the beginning of this video, we passed under this bridge. Got another real steep hill coming up here. right, this is leading back to South Burnham Highway. I'm going to turn around somewhere, maybe here. It's a private residence, but really cool looking garage. Let me see if I can. You know why? I want to end this video off. I want to get down to. I noticed, the stone house and everything down there. So let me drive down there. That'll put us out of Lisbon. I don't think Stone House is in Lisbon. I think it's in Versailles, I believe. But that's a good way for me to work my way back in a direction of where I ultimately will end this video. But it gives us a view of Preston Allen Road in two directions, which I always like to do if I can. Now, I could go straight down the other portion of Preston Allen Road. I don't know. I do not know how far that goes, but I really don't have the time to do that. I can't squeeze that little section of road in there. If somebody right now is like, oh God, I really wish he did that, leave me a comment. I'll do it in the future. I try to cover everything. But this is pretty, I don't know, it feels like a pretty comprehensive Lisbon drive, at least for the kind of more well-known roads in this beautiful little town. So I'm going to get back onto Kendall, and I'm going to work my way down towards the stone house and drive down that road and see what happens. All right, there we go. We're back to Kendall. Four-way stop. Retracing my steps back down to, I think, Versailles. Could be wrong. If I am, and I frequently am, believe me, feel free to correct me. I'd appreciate it. Kendall Road ends here. And I got to keep my eyes open because I'm getting on a kind of a main road here. Yeah, stone house to my left. Directly in front of us is what used to be called the Stone House. Now it's called Roadhouse. I'm on Main Street. Let me pull in here. Veteran owned and operated. There's a big sign on the side of that. JD's Roadhouse. Food, drink, live music. I would consider this bonus footage. Big sign on the building up above. Don't know if you can see it. Stonehouse Barn Grill, Stonehouse. Maybe that's the old sign. There's a view from behind the former stone house and the current, I want to get the name right, JD's Food, Drink, Live Music Roadhouse. JD's Roadhouse. So what do they have? Bands. Yeah, they got some cool bands down here. Well, definitely check it out. Looks like a fun place. I mean, that's a roadhouse. Roadhouses are always a blast. Versailles, Connecticut. U.S. Post Office to my left back there. So I'm in Versailles. That kind of proves it. Oh yeah, there's that really cool building, Dark Manor. I think they turned into a haunted house. Maybe it used to be a library or something. I don't know. For sales, Methodist Church is over there. Okay, so now we're crossing over into Ockham. This is all bonus footage. Has nothing to do with the Lisbon drive that I did. But I'm here. I'm working my way back home. So I'm just going to keep driving. Bridge Street. That's the street I'm on right now. Whew, man, this is tricky. This is tricky. I mean, to me, I'm not used to this. I am not used to that. So this puts me on Canterbury Turnpike. So wow, Canterbury Turnpike ends or begins back there, depending on which way you're headed. So I bonus footage. I mean, I'll be doing the entire Canterbury Turnpike on this drive. I didn't plan on doing it, but we're here. Let's do it. So if I'm on Canterbury Turnpike, I could easily be in Norwich right now. See, that's how quick, these town lines and things like that. I mean, there isn't a sign that says Norwich Town Line or anything like that I saw. To the right is Old Canterbury Turnpike. This is, just good old conventional Canterbury Turnpike. I think I'm going to be going over 395. Yep, this bridge. 395 north and south right there. As long as I stick to Canterbury Turnpike straight ahead, this is bringing me to the exact direction I want to be going. Canterbury Turnpike is a beautiful road. Now there's a school up here on the left, but I'm not going to go to that school. I'm going to go straight. Because I want to do Canterbury from start to finish. I would say this was repaved. I'm going to estimate within the last 4 to 5 years. That's how mint condition this road is right here. So we're in Norwich, Connecticut right now. This is a Lisbon centric, Lisbon focused video. So anything outside of Lisbon, I would just consider what I like to call bonus footage, extra footage, extra video, digital video recording time spent in other areas rather than the focus of the video, which was Lisbon. Now, some people like that. Some people stick beginning to end with these driving videos. Other people, they're going to fast forward it to try to find their street or just the Lisbon portion of this video, and that's fine. I say go for it. These videos, once they're on YouTube, are going to be there for years and decades, and they'll be archived. Look at this beautiful Canterbury Turnpike. I mean, these trees are starting to kick in. I love it. A lot of nice older historic homes up here mixed in with newer homes. There's a variety. It's 70 degrees. I mean, you can't ask for a nicer day than today. Crystal clear, 70 degree, late April. I mean, that's real nice. Real nice on the visual scale. We are coming to the end of Canterbury Turnpike. We've done... It's going to end right about at this stop sign, I believe. Well, actually, right now I'm on East Town Street. So we did all of Canterbury Turnpike. Did not plan to do that. These drives that I do, you never know what's going to happen. I never know what's going to happen half the time, and I'm the guy doing the driving. But I'm going to get up to the First Congregational Church on the Norwich Town Green up here, and that's usually the area that a lot of these videos, I close up shop. Look at those flowers here. Let me linger for a minute. I don't know if that's apple tree. I don't know what they are. They're beautiful. Cherry. It could be a certain type of cherry tree. But we're gonna shut things down real soon here. Yeah, once I get past that stop sign. And sometimes that takes a minute. Traffic is kind of ticked up a little bit. I think school's out, the school buses and all the kids that drive and everything. So I'm on East Town Street. If I took a left, that would be Town Street. But things are almost over here. All right. That's the end of the video.